Hi, I'm Laura Murdoch, head chef at Felix Restaurant in Sydney. Welcome to chefmasterclasses.com. Today I'm doing a turkey crepinette recipe with pea puree and sautéed spring onions using the Lilydale free-range turkeys. This recipe is a great idea to use leftovers. So we're using leftover turkey from Christmas or Thanksgiving. You can also use chicken or duck or anything like that. To start off with, I'm going to start with the butter, onion, celery, and the leek. And we're just going to cook that off for about 10 minutes over a medium heat, just so they're just lightly caramelised. So the veggies are pretty close at this stage. I'm just going to add the garlic in the last couple of minutes. I'm going to take it off the heat, finish it with the chopped herbs, so the parsley, thyme, the crushed fennel seeds, a little bit of seasoning. And then we're going to cool that down, and when it's cool we're going to mix it into our shredded turkey meat. So we have our lovely leftover turkey. We've got some breast and some leg. It really doesn't matter what you have left over, any sort of meat to go. It's a very nice combination of the breast and the leg meat, so you get a nice mixture, no one's fighting over their favourite part, which is good. The veg has been cooled down, and now we're just going to mix it all together. You don't want the veg too cold because otherwise the butter will set and just won't mix together properly. So it's just cool enough but the butter hasn't set. Just really working it through, making sure it's all combined. So what we do now is just roll it into small balls. Okay, now it's time to wrap them. So we're going to spread out our crepinette. With the crepinette, it does actually hold to itself, so you don't need to tie it or put a toothpick through it or pin it. So as long as it's sort of squeezed together and tightly wrapped around it, it'll hold quite well. So now they go into a hot oven, around about 220, depending on what your oven is like. They take about 15 to 20 minutes. We're making a pea puree to go with our crepinettes. I'm using frozen peas. I like frozen peas. Everyone's got their own thing, but I'm just going to cook them in lightly salted water for a few minutes until they're soft. Finishing a very basic pea puree. It's just the peas have come to the boil, nice hot, and just pureeing it with some butter. And finishing with salt and black pepper. The consistency I'm after is not super smooth, but smooth enough, that's the kind of thing. So it just holds itself. Finishing off the last part of the dish now, we're just sautéing off these lovely spring onions, just in some vegetable oil, 2 or 3 minutes just to get take the bite off them. They've just come out of the oven. That was about 15 minutes, which is fantastic. I just kept this pea puree warm. A couple of spoonfuls on the plate. 2 of the crepinettes. See, they're beautiful golden colour. It's a very, very easy dish to do. It's fantastic. Some of these spring onions. So they're just softened, but still on the fresher side, but just taking that bite out of them. This veal jus I made earlier, making a stock out of veal bones. I also used a little bit of pig's trotter in there to give it some depth. Then cook that down with the onions, celery, garlic, thyme, make a stock about 24 hours, and then reduce that down with some red wine. You get a beautiful sauce. This is the finished dish, my turkey crepinettes with the pea puree, spring onions and the veal jus. In my opinion, the best way to use up the leftovers and to keep the festive party going for a couple of days.